Chautauqua County headquartered Howard Hannah Holt Real Estate offers comprehensive residential and commercial real estate sales, leasing and related services, including real property appraisals, property management, development services, vacation property rentals, and traditional rentals. Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. From the Access Channel 5 studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Channel 5. Continuing the traditions of Senior Report, we are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week, countywide, from 9 to 10 a.m. Join us by calling in live, emailing us, or checking out our social media. And now, from the Channel 5 studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Doc Hamels, and we are on Chautauqua Sunrise. Wow, what an August it's been. According to all my farmer friends, this has been the hottest August on record. Can't wait for the end of the month. It could be like forever and ever hottest. But the morning is a little cooler today, so it was a little breath of fresh air. And last week we were kind of hoping for rain, and we got rain, so that was good. Well needed, and things are green again and a little muggy, but well, that's okay. So I hope you're having a great week, and for those of you that are at Chautauqua Institution, I know things are wrapping up, and I'm so happy that we're be able to be beamed into your homes and cottages and condos and townhouses and apartments or whatever you got over there. Glad we could be part of your summer. We hope that it was a great summer. Chautauqua County is just a great place to be. But for those of us that are still around, there's a lot going on in Chautauqua County all year round, and I'll get to some of those things here in a minute. So, for those of you that are new to the show, welcome. For those that are listening to us on Tuesdays at 1 o'clock, good afternoon. On WRFA 107.9, low power to the people out of Jamestown, my friends over there. I have a bunch of announcements that I want to share with you, and we're going to go to Jamestown first. Let's go to Infinity. Okay. Here we go. Chris laughs at me here because I get tongue-tied. So here we go. The Infinity Visual and Performing Arts will be hosting the September installment of Pulse Poetry Slam on Thursday, September 1 at 6 p.m. at the Infinity Arts Cafe. Autumn Echo is the big poetry guru over there. This event is free, family-friendly, and open to the public. Audience and members and performers of all ages are welcome. Performance poetry is an excellent way to express creativity while practicing performance and public speaking. Poets and audience members, welcome. I did it. I did all the P's without a single stutter. Whew. Infinity will also be holding its 13th annual local music showcase on Saturday, September 10th. That's coming up here pretty quick. from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. in downtown Jamestown. Come out for a night of music and fun. For only $15, you can enjoy more than 50 musicians and bands performing at 13 venues throughout downtown. The venues include Brazil, Forte, Infinity Arts Cafe, Jamestown Skate Products, Jones Valhalla, Labyrinth Press Company, Mojo's, Phoenix Rising Wellness Studio, where Will Russell and I will be performing at 7:30, Shawbucks, Studio Theater, The Q, The Pub, and The Wine Cellar. You can get your tickets at the Infinity Center, the Phoenix Wellness Center, and Shawbucks. $10 for pre-sale tickets. Get them early. Save yourself a bunch of money. And check with folks down at the Infinity Center at the Lynn Building at, let's see, wait a minute, I got it here. Where is it? On 2nd Street in Suite 101. It's the old post office building. Okay? If you want more information, 664-0991. Okay, let's go down the road from here at the Safety Village, the Children's Safety Village. They are offering training for certification in first aid, CPR, and AED through the American Heart Association for ages 12 through adults. Courses are offered throughout the year and are open to individuals, businesses, healthcare professionals, and other organizations as well. So if your organization needs a certain amount of people trained in these areas, which I recommend, contact them. They tell me that their pricing is very, very competitive and they do a great job. Also, they will be having throughout the year women's self-defense classes taught by the American Karate organization. They're also offering things like babysitting courses, which includes the American Heart Association certification in first aid, CPR, and AED. What a great idea. So if you have some young folks that are interested in babysitting, what a great first job. Go take the course over there and they'll get you some certification, and parents will feel a lot more comfortable when they go out for the evening. Let's see here. This week only, August 29th through September 2nd, the Safety Village is holding summer day camp from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The week is packed with great experiences for ages 5 through 12. And if you have any questions, give my good friend Terry Kinberg over there a call at 499-8138. Okay, then we have a poster here. This is going on right now, i.e. the Celtic Festival and the Gathering of the Clans. All right. This is over just down the road from here in the Mayville Lakeside Park. They have 25 clans, 10 pipe bands, 9 Celtic bands, music, food. There's a children's area, Celtic and craft vendors, and this is all going on throughout the day. You've got some music this evening with various bands. Admission is $10, 13 and under are free. Seniors, $8. And if you do have a question, give them a call at 484-2833, but that's going on this weekend. All right, let's go now to Westfield. All right, the Grape Discovery Center over there on Route 20 today is having a pig roast, a cruise-in, and live music from 12 to 5 p.m. The Lakeshore Street Rod Association is bringing in their cars and antique cars and sports cars, and that's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be all kinds of prizes for those folks. There's a pig roast available if you're interested. Dinner from all local products. Adults $12, children $6. Hot dogs are available if you don't like the pork. Beer and local wine from Lake Erie Wine Country is available, and live music from Greatest Hits will be from noon to 2, and the Drunken Sailors from 2 to 5 p.m. And there's going to be a 50-50 and door prize. It sounds like lots of fun right at the Grape Discovery Center in Westfield on Route 20. And if you have any questions, give Christina McCain a call at 326-2003. Okay, moving along. Let's see, where do I go now? Says here from September until September 1st, so that's just this week, at 4 p.m., September 1st must be, letters of interest from local nonprofits for the Fall Community Benefit Grants Program through the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation. They're accepting letters of interest. Letters should include a brief project description, estimated number of people impacted, and your contact contact information. Letters should not exceed 2 pages in length. All applications must be from a 501c3 organization. Now, the reason why we mention this is a lot of times people don't realize that there are grants available through the foundation, and they don't know there's a deadline. So check it out until the 1st of September if your organization is interested. You can give them a call at 366-4892 or go to their website and so on. Okay, and that was the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation. All right, now where are we going? Mission Meadows. Dedication and ribbon cutting, September 3rd, 11 a.m. Find out more about aquatics programs, including swim lessons, water safety, lifeguard courses, and more. All in attendance will receive a one-time pass for open swim or lap swim. Sounds like fun. Mission Meadows is located on the East Lake Road outside of DeWittville, headed towards Bemis Point. And before we pop up the next poster, let me remind you that if your club or organization has an event or a fundraiser that you want to share with us, and as long as it meets our criteria, we'll be happy to announce it here. And if you have a poster, send it to me or send it to the studio, and we'll pop it up just like you're seeing right now. All right, let's go to Callie's Crusade. Let's bring that up. All right. This is going to be held September 5th. This is a busy week for everybody at the Lakewood Rod and Gun Club. It starts at 10 a.m. with a motorcycle ride, followed by a 5K color run. Then they're going to have all kinds of fun things like a cornhole tournament, kids, games, and activities, meet and greet with a princess and superheroes, music by Smokin' 45, blood donation, organ and match checking. There's going to be a raffle, Italian sausage, and chicken barbecue. Sounds like a lot of fun. Last year they donated $10,000 to local families and hospitals. And if you want more information, you can check out Callie's Crusade on Facebook, and that's Callie with a K, okay? Or you can go to their email. If you have more information, you can contact them by their email. It's calliescrusade@outlook.com. Okay, we've been talking about this one all summer. I hope you've been buying your tickets at the Bemis Point Library. They are raffling off this very fine looking bike. Tickets are $1 for one ticket or 6 tickets for $5. The drawing will be held September 10th, and you can get your tickets at the Lenhart or at the Bemis Point Library. Then now let's go to Ripley. Okay, my hometown, the Ripley Veterans Roll of Honor, the organization that sponsors all of the events for veterans and the memorial there and so forth. They're having their 6th annual scramble, September 10th, 9:30 a.m. shotgun start at Lakeside Golf Course, Route 5, Ripley, New York. It's a 2-person scramble for 9 holes, open for the first 40 golfers to sign up. There's door prizes and 4 skill holes. Cost is $20 for members of the course or $30 for non-members. Non-members can sponsor a hole for $50 or donate a door prize. Sign up with Patty at Lakeside at 736-7637, Dan Molson at 736-4395, or my good friend Bob McIntosh at 736-5114, and that's for the Ripley Veterans Roll of Honor. And then finally, if you are in the area, I'll be appearing this Sunday, tomorrow, at the Kinzu Heritage Festival over in Ackley, Pennsylvania, at noon and at 2. We take a break in here, Will and I, and should be a great opportunity to learn about Native American crafts and culture. And then, I got a busy week. Then I'll be at LSS on Thursday night for a concert there. The next day, Friday, I'm with the Barcelona Blues Band for the first Friday in Westfield. At least it is our final appearance. And then, of course, we're going to be with the Infinity Group on the 10th. So lots of fun and lots of music. Now, if you have a question for me or an announcement, or you want to ask my guests, because I have 2 here today, a question, you can give us a call at 753-5225. You can Twitter us, you can email us, you can drop by the studio, give a handwritten note. We will ask your question or make your announcement, okay? So right now I want to cut away to Adam Dolce, who is representing Job Corps today, and he wanted to come on the show. I said, I can't get you on the show for a full show because people are booking up with me for months ahead, which is a really fun thing. but I can squeeze them in for a little bit. So Adam, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Doc. Thank you so much for having us today. We appreciate you squeezing us in. And Amanda, I appreciate you sharing a little bit of time with us this morning and let us intrude a little bit. But we wanted to take the opportunity to come in today to talk a little bit about all the great things that Job Corps is doing in our community and all the great young people that we're serving.
What is Job Corps to start with?
Yeah, that's a great question. And a lot of people ask that and they don't completely understand what Job Corps is or what we're all about. Job Corps is the nation's largest education and vocational training program for young people through the federal government. We are a education and training facility that serves 16 to 24-year-olds, and we are primarily residential. Most of the students that we serve actually live right on campus with us. Cassadaga is one of 125 Job Corps centers across the country, and across the country we are serving about 45,000 young people every single year.
40,000? What?
45,000.
Yeah. That makes your head spin, doesn't it?
Yeah. With Job Corps in Cassadaga, what we are offering is training really clustered heavily in two areas. We focus on construction and healthcare. So in the construction field, we offer carpentry, painting, plumbing, electrical. In the healthcare field, we offer certified nurses programs, the licensed practical nursing program through a partnership with BOCES, and just a couple years ago, we added security to our offerings as well.
I should have you come in the morning and do the announcements. You can rattle that out faster than I can. Pole's poetry performance land.
14 years of job prep.
How much
Talk a lot about it.
How does somebody get involved with Job Corps? I mean, do you just like sign up, or how's that work?
Well, what we're looking for is, like I said, we're looking for young people that are age 16 to 24 that meet certain criteria. The number for our admissions office right now is appearing on the bottom of the screen. So if anybody is looking for those opportunities or knows somebody who might be interested, we encourage you to give us a call. The most important thing we're looking for from the students that we work with is really they have to be committed to launching a career. We're looking for young people that are serious about investing in their time into training and really looking to launch a job that's going to benefit them for the rest of their life.
So you just don't want anybody that wants to get like a high school diploma. You want someone that's geared for a trade or a skill area. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Job Corps is the whole package.
The whole package.
So we are providing education if they need it, and we do work with a lot of high school graduates. You don't have to be a high school dropout to come to Job Corps. We're seeing more and more students enroll in our program with their high school diploma in hand.
So postgraduate work almost.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at the trades that we work in, we look at the careers that we're helping our students launch. These are young people who are going to go on to launch jobs that are ultimately going to result in careers, like I said, they can do for the rest of their life.
You know, I had a good friend of mine. I don't know if you know Leighton Swanson, but he worked at Job Corps years ago. And one of the things that, and I'm not trying to categorize anybody, but a lot of times when kids drop out of school, there's some issues, okay? Or people that haven't been able to find their way. Is there like people that work with you to kind of help you find your way?
Well, with Job Corps, you know, it's hard to put a Job Corps student in a box and say this is exactly
right.
What
And I'm not trying to do that whatsoever.
But no, absolutely. When we're working with our students, we're really working to address all of our students' needs. So it goes beyond just the education and the training that we provide, but we're working on general career development. We're providing a resume building. We're providing interview tips. We're working to help them develop socially. As we talk to different employers, and we talk to a lot of employers throughout Western New York, what we're hearing right now is that they're having a hard time finding people who can show up on time, who can show up drug-free, and who can just be good employees. And that's what Job Corps is really focused on, is not just making sure they have the knowledge to do the job, but they have the desire and the motivation to go out there and actually work and contribute.
Now you're located where? Up on the hill there, right?
Yep, we're located on the hill on Glasgow Road in Cassadaga, right across the lake from Lilydale.
Okay. Now, is it true that the kids live there?
Yeah, actually, almost all of our students live there, but we do take a small percentage of students that we consider non-residential. Those are young people who live here in Chautauqua County who, for whatever reason, can't make the residential commitment and are looking, just to come in for the day, obtain their training, and go home at night. And we're seeing more and more of those students find their way to us as well.
Okay, we got to kind of wrap things up here pretty quick here, but how much does it cost?
That's the Job Corps secret is we are completely free. Any young person who qualifies for Job Corps is going to come in and they're going to receive all of their education, their training, all the materials they need for no cost. In addition to that, we're going to provide them with a small biweekly stipend, and we're also going to provide them with a stipend at the end of the program up to $1,000 based on what they've obtained while they're with us.
Okay, you had me a hello. How about you come back in December? We're going to do a full show on this. What do you say?
I would love to come back. I look forward to returning.
Okay, there's so much to talk about here. All right, so what's the last thing you want people to know? Give them a phone number and tell them why they should contact you.
Sure. You know, again, what we are looking for is we're looking to make sure that young people in Chautauqua County have the training they need to make a difference with the employers in our area. So I encourage anybody out there who's interested in learning more to call 595-4298 and make arrangements to come out for a tour of our campus and see it for yourself.
Adam, thanks for taking time from your busy schedule. I know you got to run here in a little bit, but I look forward to seeing you in December. Okay?
I can't wait, Doc. Thanks so much for having me this morning.
You take care. Okay, folks, so if you're interested in Job Corps, give Adam a call, and I've known the services and folks that have worked there, and they're doing really quality work. All right, we got to keep moving along, so we're going to take a commercial break, public service announcement break. I call it a commercial break. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned. We'll see you guys.
Most party fouls? Not a big deal. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Okay, folks, you're back and you are listening and watching, depending on what media you're using, radio or TV. And I'm Doc Hamels, and you're watching and listening to Chautauqua Sunrise. My special guest today, Adam is all done. He came in for a little blip, but Amanda Gray Chase is our guest today. And Amanda, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. And before the show, Amanda and I were talking, and it turns out I know her father and mother and her grandparents, and small world.
Small town.
So small town, small world, absolutely. And that's what's so great about Chautauqua County. Amanda, you and I actually have a little history. You persevered through 3 of my courses that I taught at LSS on management and supervision, and obviously it must have worked because you've moved up in the world.
I have. It's true. That was the key. That's what did it.
Oh, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was your talent and your hard-working attitude, because I know your family lineage, and I'm sure you have all those skills.
We're workers.
We're worker bees. Amanda, you contacted me to come on the show. Why?
I guess I felt like it was a good point of contact, simply because what you do is great, and you get a lot of information out to senior people in the community, and there's a need for the information that you share.
Right. And as you saw with Adam, in just a few minutes we covered a lot of territory, and you've got 36 and a half minutes now, so we can talk a little slower and relax a little bit. Okay. But Amanda, before we get started too deep into this, tell us a little bit about yourself. People always kind of want to know about my guests.
All right. I live in Cherry Creek, New York, and I'm a mom. I have 4 children.
You have 4 kids?
I do. I have 1 son in the Army. I have 1 son at boot camp for the Marine Corps right now.
Oh my God, they must be driving you nuts.
I have a daughter going into high school as a freshman this year, and then I have a 9-year-old 4th grader, little guy.
You have the same spread as we do. My oldest son is, he's going to be 42, and my youngest is 31. So
there's a giant age gap.
Yeah, and my oldest is a lifetime military. He's Special Forces.
That's great.
Yeah. Keeps you up at night, doesn't it?
It does, but you're proud, like every day.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be proud of every day.
Well, good for you, Mom. You're a Blue Star mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife is too.
2-star.
Oh, that's right, you're double star. Oh my gosh. So, but what have you been doing all these years? You've raised a family, and that's a full-time job.
Yep.
And so how did you get into this world of what we're going to be talking about?
I started at Lutheran. I worked there for 3 years and realized that I wish I would have known it a long time ago, that I have a passion for senior people and for helping senior people. And through my schooling, the management just became the next step. Mm-hmm. So now what I'm doing is property management for a 55-plus independent living community, and I love it. I couldn't have drawn up a more perfect job for myself. It's perfect.
What makes it perfect for you?
I think there's just enough of everything. There's enough of the sales and marketing, and there's enough of the people getting to really know the people that live in my building has been a phenomenal experience. Then when you're tired and you just want to sit quietly, there's insurmountable amounts of paperwork. So it's just a good balance of everything.
Okay, so what we're talking about is where you work, and I don't even know if we've said the name of the place yet. So where do you work?
Fairway, Pointe Senior Village.
Now this is located where?
We're at 2123 Southwestern Drive in Lakewood, in between Brookdale and the Chautauqua Colony.
Was that across the street from where your grandparents used to have their real estate office?
It's like 2 houses down from where my grandparents used to have their real estate office.
Because like I said, I knew your grandparents, and I knew that they had that office there, because they had offices at different places, and that's where their final office was, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we grew up going there. Our grandparents, like that's where we grew up going to visit with our grandparents.
Connie and Roger Gray, good people. Okay, so Fairpoint, is this just a local organization, or how's it work?
The company that I work for is Calamar, and we're all over the place. We're growing and expanding exponentially. We've got properties going up in the Midwest, in New Hampshire, and in the Carolinas. We've got properties in New York. We've got one in Corning, one in Auburn. We've got ground broken in Penn Township. We've got 3 properties in the Buffalo area. We're growing, and it's an amazing product. It's an amazing service to the community, what we provide. Okay.
I want us to kind of think a little bit here by thinking, you said that the company is Calamar.
Calamar.
Okay. That sounds like 2 people's names, but I don't know. But why are they doing what they do?
There's a desperate need for senior housing in all of our communities because of the baby boomers, and there just can't, I don't think there can be enough of it. And we provide a different type of service. They're independent living apartments. There's no buy-in, there's no hidden fees, there's nothing. You sign a lease for a year, you live in your apartment. If you're happy, you stay. If you need to go into a higher level of care, you give your 30-day written notice and you go to assisted living or you go to a nursing home. But the point of what we do is that people can live in their home without all of the service, without having to pay for maintenance and landscaping and snow removal and all of those things that they would have to pay for.
That's the joys of owning
yeah,
home.
Right.
Snow removal.
Right.
Thanks for
especially
that.
in our area.
Okay. So you mentioned 55 plus.
Yes.
Okay. So isn't that kind of young?
Well, I suppose to be called a senior, 55 is young, but you get to be a certain age and you want to travel and you want to go see your grandchildren and you want to be able to go and do things, and this kind of environment, this kind of housing provides you an outlet to be able to do that.
I've had a number of guests on the show, and I think I've posed the same question, but you've already answered the question. And I said to them, I think we were talking about the county home before it was sold, and a couple other things that we were I think we were talking, you saw Fredonia Place was one of my underwriters here. And I asked the question, is there enough senior housing in Chautauqua County? And they all said exactly what you said. It's sorely under-supported right now. In your mind, what would we have to do to gear up for Chautauqua County? Let's talk about Chautauqua. I mean, how many units would we need? I mean, what's the need?
I don't know. I mean, we opened up our doors. We're brand new, so we opened our doors on March 1st, and we're already 50%. We're closing in on 60. So in that short span of time, we're filling up units. We're market rate apartments. I think there's still a desperate need for more subsidized housing in our area. I get phone calls every day about subsidized housing, and that's not a service that we provide, but there obviously isn't enough of it. I don't know. I mean, I think if we had 3 or 4 more buildings with 116 apartments in it like mine, then
you have 116 apartments?
We have 116 apartment units in our building.
So you've already filled half of those.
Half.
So you're almost at 60 units, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. I don't understand subsidized versus non-subsidized.
So when you rent an apartment, a market rate apartment, it's a set rent. 800. Our apartments they start at $850. They go up to $1,210 in our building in particular. Subsidized would be based on your income, and it's not something.
So this is through like a federal program, the subsidized?
I think so. Yes, through the government. Yes.
All right. Okay, so your rent is $850. Wait a minute, is it rent or it's a lease rent?
It's rent.
Rent.
You pay rent.
$850. Whew. So I go who because my thoughts are gathering. Not that it was that high. Okay, that wasn't wasn't an opinion. $850. I'm just trying to think how that would work out for me particularly.
Well,
That's not that much money in my mind, depending when I figure out utilities and all that stuff. So what's included?
Your heat, your hot water, your sewer, and your garbage are all included. We have an extensive activities calendar and self-program, which the self-program that we're rolling out company-wide is something that it focuses on the spiritual and the mental and the cognitive and the emotional and the physical parts of aging, and it stimulates all of those for people. We have exercise classes, and we have religion classes, and we have church, and we have all of those things that we, as managers, we go out and we find these activities and these speakers and these people, and we bring them into the building for our residents, and we do it right there so that it's convenient for them.
Is this a non-denominational?
Yes.
So this is not a Christian-based
No.
or Buddhist or?
No, and so if there are people that, and that you'd have to look for that too in the community, someone that would do a non-denominational service once a month or twice a month, someone that would teach non-denominational Bible study so that everyone feels welcome.
Okay, so people are listening right now and saying, okay, we have people, and I'm making this up now, okay, I like to use a little humor, but they're saying, okay, we got a bunch of old people coming to this place to live, but describe the typical person that comes to you.
They're active people. I have people that are in their 50s, young 50s, like that 55, 56, 57, that are still working out in the community full time.
Driving?
Yes. Oh, the majority of our people do drive. I think that maybe we have one or two people that use either a car, they use a car support, like a car service or parts or something like that. But the majority of our people are active senior people.
So this isn't a nursing home?
No. We don't provide services. If a service like care like that is something that you would need, we can always, we have an overabundance of referrals. People come in and drop off brochures and flyers, and we know contact people in the community that we could give you names to make phone calls, but we don't actually line up and provide services for people. They do that on their own because they're independent.
Okay, so let's say somebody that's watching right now says, Bill, I'm getting tired of listening to you grumbling about repairing the roof and plowing the snow, and maybe we should take a look at this. How do you make that decision after you've lived in your own home for like 50 years or something like that?
That's part of the process. And I meet with people on a daily basis that are just in the beginning stages of that process. You make a phone call to me, and we set up a tour, and you come in and you tour the building, and you go from there. I mean, it's your peace of mind. It's all of everything is taken care of. Even the light bulb. If a light bulb goes out in your apartment, our maintenance guy comes to your apartment, light bulb in hand, and changes it. So it's all taken care of for you.
Okay, take a breath. Folks, you're watching Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Doc Hamels, and
It's right there.
we're doing a little technical changes here. If you have a question for Amanda or anything else, announcements, you can give us a call at 753-5225. Okay, so this would be a pretty serious life decision.
It is, yes.
So how do you help them with that?
We provide a really great service. It's, like I said, peace of mind is a big thing, and it's for people when they come. They're obviously, it's something that they're interested in doing. Something has piqued their interest in it, but it's a great time to do it before you're put in a position where you don't have the choices and you have to make a decision, or your family is making the decision, or your doctor, because it's winter and you slip and fall and break a hip, and now you have to do something else because you can't stay in your house anymore. And that what we'd like to do is reach people before it gets to that point where the decision's taken away from them.
Okay.
You do it on your terms.
So plan ahead, perhaps. All right, so this would take a little bit of a process. I mean, if you have a home of your own, you got to sell it most likely, and so where I'm going with this is, do people say, I want that, and they put money down while they're in the process of selling their home, or?
What most people do, and this isn't everybody, but most people, they come to the building, they take their tour. Then they go home and they discuss it. They make the decision. We don't do we're waiving security deposit for grand opening because we are brand new. There's, like I said, there's no buy-in. It's a $500 holding fee. They choose the unit that they're interested in. They put the $500 holding fee on there, and then they sign their lease and they move in. There's a lot of benefit to moving into the facility and then setting the house up, staging it, and getting it on the market, because you're not living it anymore. So your pictures aren't there where people come in and they see your pictures and your family memories. It can be set up and be new and fresh, and people can walk in and see themselves living there. So that's even a benefit to the person.
So they have some place to be living while they're selling the house, you're saying?
Right.
I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. You said that there's a $500 holding fee. Now, what happens if they get cold feet?
The holding fee is non-refundable.
Which seems reasonable.
However, the holding fee, when you move in, you sign your lease, it actually goes towards your first month's rent.
Oh, okay. So it's a serious decision once you make the $500. Okay. So, and it's business. All right. So people are thinking right now, all right, I live in a big house. I have upstairs, downstairs, a basement. Now you're going to be putting me into something smaller. How small are we talking? How many square foot?
It depends. Our one-bedroom unit is a 600 square foot unit, which you have pictures of. And actually, the way that it's set up, it's not a small apartment. It's big and open, and there's space for everything. There's tons of counter space in the units.
Okay, here's a picture right now.
Yep.
Is this a one?
This is a one. We have 2 one-bedroom styles. This is one of them.
This is for one person?
For one person, yes.
And looks like the kitchen?
It's the kitchen. The living area is on the other side of that.
Oh, okay, I see it there.
This one in particular is a one-bedroom unit with a den. It's a 996 square foot apartment.
So this is a little bit larger. So
Yes.
So there's some choices in
We
it.
have 5 unit styles.
Okay. Ooh, okay. So why don't we just go through the pictures?
Sure.
That's good. So
This is our game room with a pool table. We have a pool league. Some of the men that live in our building have been teaching some of the women who have never played pool how to play. I guess it gets pretty rowdy up there when I'm gone.
now you say up there. Is this are there different floors?
Yes, it's a 3-story building. We have, there are elevators in the building
Please.
and stairways as well, right?
That's my fire code.
Yeah.
Okay, what else we got? I think we have number them, so we'll just clip along.
This is a one-bedroom apartment. So as you can see, a one-bedroom apartment, there's tons of
1,
cupboard
2,
space,
3.
tons
This
of
is-
counter
I think
space.
There's as many as there is in
Yep.
my house.
Every apartment comes with a stove, refrigerator, dishwasher, and a full-size stackable washer-dryer in suite. So you have all of your major appliances come with the unit as well.
This looks like a hotel room here.
Yeah, that's the living area.
Now, what size apartment was
That's
that?
a one-bedroom. It's a 600 square foot apartment.
That's all in 600?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
I guess when you start removing walls and things like that,
Sure.
you got a lot of space.
This is our community area. This is where we host the majority of our bigger functions, our potluck. We have once a month potluck. We have coffee and donuts every Friday morning. Everyone gathers down here for coffee and donuts. We have some exercise classes that come in. We have a nutrition class that we're hosting there now. We have speaker series that come in. We just had Carrie Mahalko, she's the RN diabetes from WCA Diabetes teacher. She came in and she did a great thing. We had, I think, 6 or 7 people that came down specifically just to learn about what she had to talk about. So,
is there any cost for when these people come in? The residents, is there a charge?
no, there's not a cost to the
it's
residents
part
at
of
all. It's something that we line up and provide for them.
Okay, so what are we looking at here?
That's the exterior of the building.
This is the one that's in Lakewood?
Yes.
This is a picture of it right
That is a
here?
picture of it right there. Yep.
Wow. So 1, 2, 3 stories.
3 stories.
That's not too bad. Okay, what do we have here?
That's one of our residents' front patio. She'll be very happy to see that on here. And that's just a view from when you're pulling down into the property.
It's
That's
like a
what
small city.
Yep.
Now,
It's awesome.
What's that on the left?
Those are garages. We have 50 garages on site as well.
Now, is that extra?
Yes.
So,
It's an extra fee for a garage.
so you could have a protected garage, just like home.
Yes.
And just walk across this,
Right across the
Radar.
parking lot. Yep.
and then 116 units.
Yes.
So they're front and back? Is that how they?
They're on the front and the back. It's an L-shaped building, so half of the building on one side faces the parking lot and the other side faces woods. And then the other half of the building, one side faces the parking lot and the other side faces the golf course.
Golf course.
So you have, so you have several views that you could choose from as well.
So and this is close to Chautauqua Mall, right?
Yes.
And this is up on the hill looking towards Lake Chautauqua, too.
It is, and I'll tell you that in the fall, because the trees are so gorgeous, in full, you cannot see the lake, but in the winter you can. So it's nice to be able to look, and since we live here and we know where the Stowe Bridge is, you can see it from the building, second and third floor. It's nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, we have any other pictures? Oh, there's some more.
This is off of our big community room. We have a back patio with seating and a grill. People, they get together and they can cook out back and have dinner together. It's a wonderful community. We have a wonderful group of people. We really do.
Now you said they can cook out. Are they grills?
Yep, there's a grill in the back on the patio.
Does that come with the place?
Yes, it's included.
This is pretty incredible. I'm just thinking of a grill nowadays. You're talking $300-400 for a halfway decent one.
Just have it out back, and they can, you can take your food down and cook. There's a full kitchen in the community room, so throw your baked potato in the microwave, cook your steak, and sit out back and have dinner in the woods.
So you could have friends over that don't live there.
Mm-hmm. The community room, they can utilize that space. For the residents that live there can utilize that space for their own personal things. We have groups that have met in there. We have a bunco group that comes pretty regularly. One of our residents is part of it. We had a family church had a big picnic there because 2 of their pastors actually live in our building. It's just, it's great.
Okay, here's a question that just popped up, which is a good one. My buddy Barry Yoakum is with Meals on Wheels. Do Meals on Wheels come there?
Barry, I've actually met with Barry about coming there, and if we have people that are in need of that service, he's already said that they would come, absolutely. I don't know if we have any residents that are receiving Meals on Wheels.
But they could.
But they could, yes. Same as carts or any other service.
There's a lot of hard-headed guys out there. I say guys because a lot of times they say, oh, we'll cook, and they end up eating, ramen noodles or something silly like that, and they don't realize for a modest cost for Meals on Wheels, they could really...
They deliver, well. And they do the weekend. One of the things that was so great when he came was they do those frozen dinners that you can have over the weekend too. So even if they can't get you on Sunday, you'd still have your meal that you could warm up for Sunday, which is awesome.
Lots of good services for seniors.
Yes.
And I've had Mary Ann Spanos, the executive director of the Office of the Aging. Linda Spalding may or may not be calling in, but she watches the show every Saturday morning with her job employment programs and things like that for seniors. There's a lot of services for seniors, and they can really work with folks like you, can't they?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
What other services do you work with?
We have some visiting nurses programs that come in because we have some residents that are in need of those services. We have some residents that go to the adult daycare programs, especially spouses. When they move into a place like that and they want that social aspect and they've got a spouse that is in need of having some additional services, they can go to adult daycare, and then that gives the spouse a free minute to join into some of the activities that we have in the building. Okay. We have different cleaning organizations and companionship organizations that come and help take people to doctor's appointments if they need that, if they're not someone that drives or they don't have family close by.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Jeff, do we have any more pictures? I guess we've shown all the pictures. Oh, last one. I think that must be it then. Oh, there's the last one. Okay. And that's another patio?
Yes.
Okay. I suspect those go quick.
The first floor patio...
here's another. I'm sorry.
That's one of the dens. That's one of the one-bedroom with a den.
Okay. Well, that's pretty nice. So you were saying about the one-floor patio?
Every apartment has French doors that go out either onto... If it's the first floor, it goes onto a patio, but the second and third floor go onto a balcony. It's a composite balcony with a cover. So they all have a patio.
When you say composite, I know what it means.
Composite decking, the plastic...
It's like a vinyl type thing, so you don't have to
so
paint
that doesn't
it.
deterioate and you don't have to scrape and stain.
Cracks type thing.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, those are nice. Okay, whew, I told you when I interview, I write lots of notes here, so I got lots of good questions yet. So you mentioned something about cleaning, so people obviously
you can have your own cleaning person come in and clean your apartment. It's just like living. It's your home. You move into your home and you hang up pictures with a hammer and nails on your walls, and you put up your window treatments, and you live there. It's your home. If you need to have someone come in and clean because you don't want to, or you just can't bend down and scrub the toilet anymore, you can do that just like you would do out in the community. It's just, we provide peace of mind. You don't have to do the upkeep and the maintenance anymore. We have a full-time maintenance person. We take care of snow plowing and snow removal. We take care of all of the landscaping, the garbage removal, all of it.
I'm sold.
I've got a lease right here for you.
You have a lease for me. It was just mentioned in my earpiece that it sounds like a condo. Is it like a condo?
A lot of people say that. A lot of people say that. It's got the feel of a condo, but there's not the condo association fees, and there's not any of that. We have a resident council that we've established. It's a group of residents that they're now coming up with the different activities that they're doing. They're going to go on the summer wind. They've planned a trip for that, and they're signing up for it. They want to go to Letchworth, and they want to go see Christmas lights together. They've become a group of, one of the slogans for our company is "Come as strangers, live as friends," and that is definitely true in our property. It's true in all of our properties.
You said friends, and that strikes a real bell to me, because I know quite a few seniors, and I've played music for a lot of senior citizen settings, and I think the friendship part is so crucial. When folks get to a certain age, and I say this sort of tongue-in-cheek and lightly, but it's true. When I talk with them, they'll say, well, my friends are getting thinner and thinner. They're
right.
When they have reunions, they're one of two that show up.
Right.
They're army groups. They're the last of the last, and their circle of friends is diminished so much.
Right.
But I'm sitting here imagining now, if I was in that situation, that I would be pretty darn lonely. And who do you play cards with now? Who do you talk about your music? Who do you talk about Remember When?
Right.
And that's part of what we are as human beings. We need that
socialization
friendship.
piece.
And we don't. And this may sound a little odd, but when was the last time some of these people actually had a hug?
It's true.
That personal touch.
It's true, and that's one of the things that living in this kind of environment provides. We have people who met during the pre-leasing process before the building ever opened, and they've become like family to each other. And when someone loses a spouse, which has happened, or someone has surgery and needs people to help take care of them, these people have formed committees to make soup and walk someone's dog and just give a card, congratulations on the new grandbaby. I mean, these are life things that are happening to people, and it's like a family. It's not even like friendship, it's become like a family.
And the other thing it kind of reminds me of is, you said you moved a lot when you were a kid, so maybe you understand what I'm saying, but growing up in Buffalo, we had a neighborhood.
Right.
Everybody
It's a community.
knew everybody.
Yep.
But when we age out, our neighborhood changes drastically. So sometimes we don't even know the people down the street because we have nothing in common with them anymore,
right,
because of age or our own physical limitations. But it sounds like you've created another neighborhood.
That's exactly what it's like. There are people that live in my building that did PTA together when their children were small and haven't seen each other in 50 years, and here they are back together. And on coffee and donuts on Friday, everyone comes down and they sit at tables, they talk about their kids. Some of them, they have kids that went to prom together. I mean, it's just, we live in a really small town, and it's a great dynamic and a great culture in the building, and it's something that's so desperately needed here in our area.
A question popped up on my iPad here. Let me see. Is there any other locations that your company has in Chautauqua County?
We don't have any more in Chautauqua County.
Any planned?
I don't know that. I think if we filled this one right up and there was a need for it, that I think that there could be.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about the company?
Sure.
I mean, people always say, well, there's so many horror stories out there about nursing homes, and not in Chautauqua County, but you read about these things. What can you tell us about the company?
The company
Who are they?
It was a grandson started company. It's a family-owned and family-run company, and they're builders, and they've got an investment side, and they've got the property management side, and we all work under the same umbrella for the same company. And they're They've noticed the need. There used to be building in medical buildings and big group things like that, and now it's moving toward building more in the senior housing market. And like I said, the company is growing. We've got buildings going up all over.
Is there, by any chance, one of these communities down on 5 as you go towards Erie? Because it used to be a mall area down on Route 5. Well, anyways, it looks very similar to this, and I was just wondering if it was the same
I don't
company,
think so.
different one.
I think the closest, the Pennsylvania Penn Township is the one that they're building right now. There's one that they're building in Warsaw as well.
Okay. One of the concerns that I know seniors have is security. Will I be safe? Their property, the people worrying about people breaking in. Tell me about security.
It is a secure building.
Yeah, for a point.
You get, when you move into the building, you get a key fob for the front entrance, which is...
Okay, people don't know what a fob is, maybe.
Okay, so it's a lot, there's a little vestibule that you walked into, and then the main door is locked, and there's a little system that you get it's like a sensor that you scan to get yourself into the building. Only the people that live there get that. Otherwise, if you're a visitor, you have to call. There's a box. You have to call to the apartment where you're going, and then they have to buzz you in.
Oh.
So the building is secure. All of the exterior entrances, in addition to that fob system, are key entry only, even the patio doors. So when you go out back, if you forgot your keys, you have to walk around to the front and buzz yourself in.
So there's no security guards or anything?
There's no security guard. There are security lights around it. The building is alarmed to the police station, to the fire station. It's, if someone were trying to break in, there's pretty extensive alarm systems. If there was a fire, medical emergency, all stuff like that.
Okay. And obviously it's built to code with sprinklers and
Yes.
all that jazz?
Yes.
Okay. I ask these questions because people watching are probably, maybe they're screaming at this TV, I don't know, but they like to know this information. Okay. We talked a little bit about this before the show, and we said there's a continuum of life. When we come into this world as little children, we're nurtured by our parents, we were raised in the homes, we move out of the home, we get our own home, and then we raise our families, and then as we get older, our needs change. Okay? What happens when an individual or couple realize this is no longer working for them? We touched on it just a little bit. So what is the next step for folks if they're no longer able to live with you folks?
If there's a need for going from independent living to assisted living or nursing home care, or moving in with your children, and that's something that they'd give a 30-day written notice that they were, and you can a lot of times tell that things like that are coming. But if that's something that a person needs, then they give their notice and they move into a higher level of care. If an accommodation needs to be made, we do everything in our power to make an accommodation. So if you have a person who's on the 3rd floor and they've had health issues and they need to move closer to the main entrance, and that's going to keep them with us longer and keep them independent longer and keep them able to stay in their own space longer, then we would do everything in our power to make that accommodation happen. Okay. But eventually if it happens and they need to move into a higher level of care, then they give a written 30-day notice and then they move.
And that seems reasonable, 30 days?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're not out a lot of money, they're out a month's rent, worst case scenario?
For the month that they've given the notice, and then, yes.
Okay. A question popped up again. I'm assuming these things. The elevators can accommodate scooters, motorized wheelchairs?
Yes.
All that good stuff.
People are actually using the elevators to move their furniture into their apartments. So we've had the moving services, moving people couches, desks, big hutches. They've moved people into their apartments using the elevators. So they're not like a tiny, it's big, they're big.
Right, because a lot of places you go to, there's just a little...
No, it's not like that.
You mentioned furniture and things like that. Okay. I'm thinking of my dear dad who watches the show every week. I send the link to the show, and who's got a house full of furniture.
Right.
How do you choose what you need? I mean, do you
well,
help them with that? Or?
You're downsizing, so you come to me with that in your mind, or we talk about it when you get there. We have the different dimensions and square footage of the apartment units that we give to people. They usually will bring their folder when they come back for the second time, a measuring tape. We take them up to their apartment, and they'll go through and measure. And they've got an idea of already what they want to bring. And I just had a couple this week that signed a lease. There were things that she was saying that she was going to have to get rid of, and I said, wait until you come in and take the measurements. Don't give things away. Don't sell anything yet. Just be sure that it's not going to fit, because there's 50 different ways that you could decorate your apartment. So, you know, maybe that hutch that you've had that was your grandmother's, maybe you don't have to get rid of that or pass it on, or, you know, it depends. But yeah, we go out of our way to help people. It's your home. We want you to be comfortable there.
Now, there's people watching and say, well, I can't possibly put all of my furniture in these apartments, and I'm not going to get rid of the stuff. Do you have any storage?
We don't have storage cages yet. We will. People can use the garages as storage too. There are people that park their car in there and still utilize some of the space of the garage for storage.
Okay, Dan, so if you're watching, you can put some of those things that you really like in storage if you want to move.
It's true. It's true. We started a 600 square foot apartment. We go all the way up to an 1,100 square foot apartment. So it's based on what your needs are. There are 5 different unit styles that you could choose from.
Is there a limit of how many people can live in an apartment?
It's a 2-bedroom apartment, so we don't have any more than 2-bedroom or 2 people living in the apartments at this time. But I mean, if you were, you know, a couple and you were older and you had an adult child that, you know, had special needs, they could live there too, and then you would have 3 people living in the apartment.
Okay, so it's possible to expand it. Okay, we got a phone call, but this isn't going to be for you. This is Randy, our cameraman, who's not here today. Speaking of old people, Randy, are you alive and well, and are you still?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, not so loud, not so loud. Ow, you just popped my eardrum.
State Park, we got a rest stop here. Got the worst out of it. We got those 2 bills around the Whitville. There's
What are you doing? People doing
about 600 people, I think, this ride today, so it's got really big.
What ride?
It's called the Grand Fondo.
Grand Fondo?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I have no idea, but it really draws a crowd.
How are you doing?
Hey, I made the hills, a few stops there, you know, but everybody else is too, so.
Okay, because if you need help, I'll send the boys with the crane and the pickup.
So I'm going to let you go there. I know the show's just about over. I'm going to grab a snack and be on my way. Take care.
All right, well, don't hurt yourself. We need you here next week, okay?
We'll see you later.
Okay, Randy, thanks for calling in. That was Randy Bird. He's in the Grand Fondo bike tour. I guess it's a big tourist attraction that's growing every year, and it's 600 riders. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Okay, one thing near and dear to my heart, and I'd have to know the answer, and I hope the answer is yes. But what about pets?
We are pet friendly. We only take up to a 30-pound animal, but cats, dogs, or birds, you can have up to 2.
30 pound?
30 pounds.
What? Max is 42.
You have to put him on a diet. We are also completely 100% smoke-free.
Oh, good.
So that's a benefit to a lot of people as well.
Okay, so the guy that likes the occasional cigar or pipe, or a woman that wants to
He'll have to go up and stand on Southwestern Drive to smoke.
So get right off the property,
Yeah.
not even on the property.
It's 50 feet from the building, any of the entrances. So, you know, because a lot of people don't. They don't like it, and they don't smoke, and they don't want to walk
breathing.
through it or smell it, and yeah.
So how do you enforce that?
We don't have anybody that's a smoker that lives in the building.
Yet.
There have been people that have come and they've taken a tour and they've been all about it, and then that we get to that part of it and they're like, well, I couldn't live somewhere where I couldn't smoke, and I'm like, well, sorry, you can't smoke here. It's smoke free.
Well, good for you. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, question did pop up, and I think we already talked about that, but utilities are included, right?
The majority of your utilities are included.
What isn't included?
Your electric is not included, and then your internet, phone, cable bundle through Time Warner Cable would not be included.
Okay, but your heat, water, and so forth, right?
Yep. Heat,
okay.
hot water, water, sewer, garbage is all included.
Well, you were a little concerned about coming on the show.
I was nervous.
You've got 45 seconds left. We did very well. We've covered a lot of territory. I've got all kinds of notes. Amanda Chase, You are the community manager of Pointe Senior Village.
Fairway Pointe.
What would you like folks to know, and why don't you give them your last piece of information, how to contact you?
We have a lifestyle at our property designated with you in mind. So give me a call at 264-3570 and we'll schedule your tour, and I'd love to share what we have available with you.
What are your hours?
Monday through Friday, I'm usually there from 8 or 8:30 to 5 or 5:30, Saturdays and Sundays by appointment.
Okay. And this is going to be a growing need here in Chautauqua County, so if you're interested, I would suggest you take a look at this type of service.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We're out of time. I told you it was going to go quick. Folks, you've been watching Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Doc Hamels. I hope you enjoyed the show and got some good information. We'll see you all again right here Saturday morning at 9 o'clock next week. And I hope he shows up, but our Assemblyman Andrew Goodell will be joining us. You take care and enjoy the last few weeks of summer. Take care. Bye-bye.